Hello, and welcome to Groundhog Day, where everything begins anew. It's what I like to say. A part of me would like to say that, but a bigger part of me doesn't. Let me explain. There's a reason why I put the future, because this is what it's going to be all about. The future of this channel of sim.bc. It's a reason for why I put that in the end of the recap week, because that's where we're at now. Video 366 in the daily upload schedule. It's the day after the official birthday of the channel, and I've calmed down a bit. I'm not as excited as I was yesterday because it was indescribable, the feelings I felt inside. It was just an explosion of emotion. Really hard to convey, really, on tape. But today we're going to look forward, and we're going to look to the future. About, well, what is going to happen with the channel, what is going to be happening now that I've reached that 365 days goal. That was my goal for the longest of time, and as I said, reached that. So what is happening now? Everything is sort of up in the air, and I have a list if I tend to look down of things I want to talk about. And that's a hard question to answer, right? What's going to happen now? Because once you chase that goal that seemed to be so far away, it seems to be a very fictional goal to reach. Once you reach that, I was starting considering, and I started to consider this even before yesterday, but you started considering, well, what am I going to do now? What's going to be the next big thing? Because now I've done that. I've done the daily upload schedule for a year. It took a lot of time. I sacrificed a lot of my spare time, so I'd say. One of the things that was sacrificed was me playing, some of the things that I liked and enjoy. This was, just shoved out of my life entirely. So there were sacrifices made, is what I'm trying to say, is what I'm trying to convey. And that's part of the reason why I need to inform you that today isn't Groundhog Day. No, it's not. Certainly a part of me wishes it was. But a bigger part of me, I would go so far as to say a qualified majority of myself, right? A good 80% doesn't want it to be Groundhog Day for the daily upload schedule anymore. I don't want that. I want something new. I want a new challenge. I want a new goal. Because one of my friends quite recently came up to me and said, I don't understand how you do this. You're about to reach that 365 mark. You're going to reach that goal, and I can't fathom, I can't really understand how you can put out videos each and every day and actually maintain that when nobody is standing behind you, whipping on your back and saying, do that, upload videos, make them. How can you have that sort of resolve that you just keep going and making videos? And at the time, I was just like, well, some people are like that. But I guess a reason for why I've been able to do that the last year is because I've been going out and publicly, I made it publicly accessible, the information, my setup, sort of saying that I'm going to do videos the entire year, daily ones. And so I did that, and that was enough for me, that if someone could find that one video, they could hold it against me, that, you never actually finalized that goal. And that would eat away at me. Forever, probably. I would probably never be satisfied having said I'm gonna do something, and then for no despicable reason more than laziness, I wouldn't be able to reach that goal. And that's probably why I'm standing here now. Being done that and having reached that goal, that was probably the reason for why I was uploading. So I thought, why not utilize that same mindset, that same sort of resolve and fear of backing, going back on my word and going back on what I said I was gonna do, and launch a new goal here today. And it isn't easy to just launch a new goal because there are so many potential ideas that I could work with, and it's going to be a time sink nonetheless. Whatever I'm gonna do. So even though I could present you with the specific thing that I've chosen today, I thought I was gonna go through 3 different alternatives to what I could have done the upcoming 365 days, right? The things that I was thinking, this is one of the things I could do. I could very much see myself in the situation where I was gonna do this, but unfortunately, I chose it, I put it to the side because I have something even better, which is going to be the fourth one. So the first one, the first opinion, the sort of first choice I had was, let's continue with YouTube. Do weekly videos, do monthly videos, whatever. But try to maintain a higher quality. Try to do something, and this is sort of a critique and a feedback I've gotten over the year from many of my mates. They've been doing like, well, you see, the daily upload schedule, sure, you want to have it as a goal, and that's all fine and dandy, 2 thumbs fresh for you. And yeah, it's gaining you a lot of things. We've been going through that, you can look at the top 5, whatever. But they aren't really that good in comparison to other videos on YouTube. I mean, for instance, if I were going out there just looking around, there is other videos I probably would chose over yours. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can certainly see that, most likely see that. I would hope that the appeal of my videos is that, I'm quite honest with what I think, and I'm going at controversial topics, and, you're here to watch me talk about the topic, not necessarily the visual presentation. But I can see the appeal to, watch a video with better visual presentation, even though the content might be equally as good. And if the content is equally as good or better, which is most of the case for many of the videos on YouTube, then sure, you would watch that. It makes sense. So I was thinking, well, maybe I should just do that then. I should take a step back. I shouldn't just upload just because I want to upload. I should take the time and actually do weekly and monthly videos and put a lot of time and effort into those and, make those better. One of the problem with that though is that many big creators on the site have gone out and said that there's a problem with the YouTube algorithm, a quote-unquote problem. It's just a change in preference, really, where YouTube's new algorithm over the last years seems to be prioritizing daily uploaded videos more than anything else. That you gotta retain that daily viewership from, to stay relevant, really, and to maintain a community and subscribers. So I thought, why pour my time and effort into videos that I know probably won't benefit me that much anyway? It could be because I really want to convey something, but I found that most things I want to convey I've already conveyed. Now it's just out to my ludicrous and wild, very from left or right field theories out there that are going to be really crazy. Might be a better topic suited for a bigger and more polished video, certainly, because it would be funnier to talk about since it's so weird. But most of the points that I really want to get across, I think I have gotten across over the last year. So that's why I'm not going to go with that. The second choice that I had, so to say, was join a charity and put together an event to raise money or raise awareness to try and help people. Because that's, I said yesterday that when it comes down to it, the one thing I've tried to convey probably over the 365 days I've done this, 366 now though, is open-mindedness, right? If I could convey anything, it should be keep an open mind. And I stand for that. But the second thing I hopefully have promoted is help people. And the reason why you should have an open mind is so that you shouldn't shun people, you shouldn't close them out, you should invite them in, you should help them. So I would really, it would be really fulfilling for me personally to work with a charity and involve me with something with that, like that. The only problem though, and this is an arguable problem, is that I'm going to be in France. I'm going to be in Bordeaux for the upcoming year. That's the plan. And I don't speak French that well. I speak it at like I have a working understanding of the language, but I probably couldn't stand and discuss diseases or whatever I want to interact with in a charity manner. I don't know if you can do it online. If you could, then maybe this list is going to change. But I thought, in Bordeaux, then maybe a charity isn't going to be the best thing for me personally at this point in time. I surely want to involve myself in some form of charity and helping people, actually physically try to help people where it matters in real life at some point. But it's never too late to do that. Not that you should postpone it, you should definitely get at it as soon as you can. Helping people shouldn't need to wait. But I think that at the point in time I am right now, it doesn't really make that much sense. If that makes any sense. Like, it always makes sense to help people, but in the situation I'm going to be put in, I don't think that I will be able to help people that much, since I don't even know the language in the in the country I'm gonna stay. And you can argue that, well, you can use English. Well, yeah, but to a certain degree in France, Since I've been there before, I've met a certain resistance from the general populace when it comes to me speaking English to them. Could be because they know that I'm from another country, could be for whatever reason, but I just think that this might not be the time in my life when I want to do this. Maybe I do something, a minor thing with charity and try to involve me in some way, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to put my time and effort into every single day over the next year. But probably something I'm going to look into either way, because as I said, you shouldn't postpone helping people. You should really try and do your best when it comes to that. So I'm going to look into it, it's just a matter of, it's not going to be the main thing I'm going to do over the next year. The third one is, the third and final one I should say, of the mentions, so to say, is programming. Because I really want to look into programming, and I thought, you know, if I can actually make a video in each and every single day, I can probably sit down and look at videos. Try to express myself through programming and try to learn how to program, because I have friends who are doing it, they're aspiring game designers, and I would so very much like to join in that world of theirs and be like, you know, I actually understand the C-wed loop or whatever, the colon going crazy. I had no idea, but I have just so many friends who are into these stuff, and I think that a working understanding of programming, especially since society is going to involve more and more technology, probably seems like we're on that trajectory at the moment. I think it's going to be a good and healthy thing for anybody to know some basics of programming. So that's why I was thinking about doing that. The problem though is that I don't know where to start, and that's not something you should use as an excuse, obviously not. But at this point in time, which everything's probably going to boil down to, right? At this point in time, I don't think that I'm going to be focusing on programming. I don't really have a good reason as to why. It's probably just that the fourth one I'm going to present for you, wow, can't even speak, right? In a few moments, it's just going to bring me so much more enjoyment, and it's something that I hold on to for a very long time. That's probably the reason for why I chose that and not programming. Otherwise, it's a completely valid choice. But let's move on to the fourth one. I'm just gonna read this off. That last year, I've been working a lot with pouring myself out. I've been working a lot with what did I say? Yeah, all of the presentation. I've been working a lot of the presentation on my thoughts over the last year. So I thought for this upcoming year, I would very much like to work with the conservation of my thoughts. That was meant to go a lot more smooth. But I would like to work with the conservation of my thoughts, try to conserve them in my head and not try to pour them out as fast as I can. Not try to come up with things in the moment in a raw format, in a raw footage, right in front of a camera and be like, oh, I haven't thought about this before. Instead, I would like to try and internalize that process and come up with something. And the best way I thought of doing that, the best way I could imagine channeling that, would be writing a story. I know many of you probably guessed, if you've seen the latest, let's say before this one, the latest project I did, it was about genres. And there was a complete bias in that, in that I'd thought about this for a while. And I've been writing books before. Some of them were finished, some of them were not. But they're all of various qualities, let's say. So based on that, I've done that previously in my life. I know that writing a book isn't as easy as it might seem in the beginning, right? You can't just pour out an entire story. Even though I've had times when I've done that, you know, you just have a story that you need to get out of your head. It's too good to be kept in there. You print it out on paper and you look at it and you realize this makes no sense. I wrote this over the course of like a month. This isn't the best piece of art I've ever seen. If anything, it is a very abstract piece of art because it doesn't really connect, it doesn't really make sense, there is no formal internal logic. One of the reasons for no internal logic, even though it might not be the biggest one, is that, you know, the color of the hair of the main character changes throughout the story. For no apparent reason more than I was writing it in the wrong way, because I was shaping in the idea as I was writing. So I've come to the realization of sort that if I'm gonna write a story, which I really want to do, I need to focus on that. I need to focus on story. I need to focus on a, just a story, the characters, establish an internal logic, and do lots of research. Because before, as I said, I've been trying to throw myself at making an entire book in the moment. Just because I felt like I wanted to pour out my soul into something, because I was so passionate about getting it out there. But now I realize that that might not be the best course of action for me personally. So I'm gonna say it here, right now, so that I can be held accountable for it. In 365 days, or rather in the upcoming 365 days, in the upcoming year, my challenge, my goal is going to be develop a story, develop internal logic, and develop character profiles. When I say character profiles, I mean I'm going to have documents, maybe even illustrations of each and every character, at least main character and supportive character in the story, and a bit of story behind it, so I know who this character is, what is their backstory. Then we can present that in the general story, but just so that I know what was I thinking with this supporting character, what was I thinking with this main character, and that would probably help maintain the internal logic for the entire story. So what I want to do is just, I want to make a story. I want to make all the tools for the story. Maybe even though I go as far as I actually write the story, write the skeleton of a story, the general gist of it. But that's gonna be the challenge for me for the upcoming year. My main challenge. I might be interacting with the other ones just because I think they're good ideas and I really want to do all of them. But maybe to a lesser extent. This is going to be my main thing. I'm gonna develop the skeleton of a story, develop characters, character profiles yet again, establish some form of internal logic, and I'm not gonna decide in which genre I'm gonna write it in, because this was the suggestion of one of my friends, and I think it's really smart, saying that instead of picking a genre and write something that fits that genre, write something and see what genre it fits into. Because then you're probably going to be able to play with a lot more themes. You're not going to be as caged into something as you might have been otherwise. And I thought, 2 thumbs fresh. That sounds really good. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's what I'm going to do. And as I said, hold me accountable. For God's sake. If I in a year haven't done this, then please tell me. If any of you watch this and know me, just try and contact me or comment on this video in a year and say, how's it going? If I haven't been updating and saying it's gone pretty good. Because I think I need that. I think that has been the key reason for why I've been able to upload daily. Why I've been working with it every day. Because I don't want to be the guy who said, I'm gonna do something and then back out, and then back out of it. Because that's sad, isn't it? I mean, if you have a good reason, then sure, back out of it. You have a good reason for it. But having a good reason and trying to come up with a reason that's good enough are 2 different mindsets to be in. And I don't want to be in that mindset. I want to be in the mindset of, I'm going to do this. And yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So the story in 365 days. It's going to be awesome. So unfortunately, mates, for those of you who thought this was going to be the Groundhog Day for this channel and a new range of daily videos, unfortunately, it's not going to be that. As I said, it's been a really fun ride. Some parts of me really want to do it, but more of me doesn't want to do it than does, so to say. I don't know how I'm going to go about updating the story. You said say how I'm come along on my story. I'll probably do it via Twitter, so you can find in the description of this video, right in the sim.bc Twitter. And I don't know if I'm going to do any other videos. I might do some videos just because it's fun, so I can apply the knowledge and the lessons I've learned over the year, But I don't know at the moment. At the moment, I'm not going to hold me to anything. I'm not, video-wise, more than, there's going to be 2 more, there's going to be 2 more podcasty videos, longer discussion type of videos coming up before the end of August. Because that's still part of up until the 365, the end of August sort of thing as I view it. So yeah, that's going to be it. That's the future of sim.bc. Hope you're not too dissatisfied. Hope you're satisfied. If you are, leave a like. And if you want to contribute to the story I'm going to write, then please comment in the comment section below. Characters, themes, whatever, ideas. I'm open for any suggestion, really. Because right now I'm just a clean shades. So let's do this. Yeah, bye.